1, 2, 3, 4. Open wide the doors of Christ. Open wide the way, the truth, the life. Open wide the doors to the young and old. Open wide the doors of the Lord. Well, hey, Doug.
Hey, Dave.
How are you?
It is so good to see you.
It's great to see you. It's been 7 days, a whole week.
Oh my gosh, hey everyone, was not last Thursday incredible?
It was so awesome. It was epic, I would say.
It was so fun and unexpected and really a gift of comedy and song.
So that was episode 1 of our live stream, and we're back for Together as One,
episode 2. So we're so grateful to be back, and I'm looking forward to it, Dave.
We got a great lineup today.
Oh, yes, we do.
So let me ask, I haven't seen you for a week. Anything interesting happen in your life over the last 7 days?
Well, funny that you mentioned that, Dave. Remember like a month ago, or no, like 3 months ago. Remember early March, Dave, when we would travel and do our ministry on the road?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so long ago. But remember I thought I had that, I pulled a muscle?
Oh, yeah, like the side ache you had.
Yeah. Well, I realized a couple weeks ago when I went to the doctor, it actually was what they called a hernia.
Well, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. But luckily, we can have elective surgeries now. So I had a hernia procedure this weekend. Luckily, I'm on the mend right now.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to our amazing surgeons and nurses and healthcare workers who help people like me when they need surgeries for regular things. And again, especially let's keep in our prayers the healthcare workers for our COVID-19 victims, because they all need our prayers as well.
For sure, for sure. Well, after that uplifting story, Doug, why don't we go ahead and jump into tonight's show?
I think we should, Dave. You know, I want to give you a little quiz because I don't think you'll be able to guess our first artist. Okay. So a little clue: he comes from a little city called Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, a little city down by the river.
Yeah, so that should narrow it down. Any guesses?
Man, there's a lot of really good musicians. I bet he's a professional.
I bet he is too.
Very talented.
He's an amazing singer-songwriter, amazing piano player.
Okay.
Little clue?
You know, must be John Angotti.
You got it.
All right, well, let's send it over to John Angotti then.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, this is John Angotti, and I'm here today to be with Together as One, as with all the folks of the NFCYM family, and through all these difficult times, but there've been so many blessings in it all as well, So the glass is half full, half empty, and a lot of times we can enter into fear and become afraid. But if we trust and know that God walks with us and plants roses in sometimes the darkest times of our lives, that when we start to see how each of us have become more kind and more empathetic for one another, and realize that it's a we world, together as one, not together, that we're individualized. And so don't choose fear, that because we have Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, that we can walk together bound as one, united in our faith in God. So this is a little song, and if you want to sing along, you have a little part, all you have to sing is, "Be not afraid." That's all you got to sing. So enjoy this song. God bless you and your families. Love to all. And we're in this together as one. We walk together, bound as one, united in our faith in God. No evil shall we fear. We need each other, stand by me. Courage and faith shall set us free. It is Christ who strengthens me. Fear is not an option for me. Fear is not an option for me. So be not afraid to climb the tallest mountain. Be not afraid to sail the stormy sea. Be not afraid to tell someone I love you. Be not afraid. Faith and courage conquer fear. We will not be afraid of the dark, for you, my God, have shown the way. Courage conquers fear. We know the truth in Jesus Christ, who died and rose for us. We shall overcome.
sail the stormy sea. Be not afraid to tell someone I love you. Be not afraid. Faith and courage conquer fear. There will be times we feel because of pressure from our peers. Faith outweighs the 15. So be not afraid to climb the tallest mountain, to sail the stormy sea, to tell someone I love you. Be not afraid. Fear is not an option. Be not afraid to climb the tallest mountain. Be not afraid to sail the stormy sea. Be not afraid to tell someone I love you. Be not afraid. Faith and courage conquer fear. Faith and courage conquer fear. Keep safe. Keep the faith. God bless.
John and Gotti. That was amazing.
That was awesome. Be not afraid. I love that message.
Oh my, and fear is not an option for me.
Yep.
John, you couldn't hit the mark better to start us off for this Thursday. Just amazing. Oh, Dave, I was going to ask you, you asked me about my week. I told you about the hernia, but how's your week been?
Oh, I just been hanging around the house, doing some running. Did a big 10-mile training run on Saturday. Yeah.
You see, Dave here is training for a big race that he does every year. Tell everybody, what have you been doing for the last 7 years?
Well, it's called the Pikes Peak Ascent. We have the mountain over here called Pikes Peak, 14,000-foot peak, and there's a half marathon I do every year. It's 13.38 miles from Manitou Springs to the top of Pikes Peak.
And folks, he's not walking up it. You are actually
I'm attempting to run.
Running up this race. Amazing. But this year, I know you're taking it one step further, Dave. What is that?
Well, I'm going to turn around at the top and come back down, and that's called the Pikes Peak Marathon. So it's a full marathon up and down the mountain. They do that on the Sunday. It's at the end of August.
I have such respect for you and for all those runners who don't be afraid, can't be afraid of that.
Right.
And got to train and train and train. But I think it's amazing.
Well, it's like John Angotti said, be not afraid to climb the highest mountain.
Yeah, I don't know if he meant that, though, literally, Dave.
Oh.
I'm not really sure. But maybe we should introduce our next act.
Yep. Speaking of pointless conversations between two people.
Do you know who it is for this one?
I do.
Okay, I'll guess.
Okay, so one comes from the mountain state of Virginia.
Oh, yeah, there is mountains there.
The other member of this duo comes from Indiana, where he has a radio show.
Indiana, radio show, okay.
Yep. One's name's Dan, one's name's Kyle.
Can any of you guess? Dan, Kyle, Indiana, Virginia. Any guesses out there? Oh, I see a few guesses out there. I think I got it.
Yeah.
Could it be Popple?
You got it.
Let's hear it for Popple.
Oh, hi, Cal.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
I'm
I didn't
doing
see
well.
you there.
Here.
Well, it's so nice to see you. I understand that there's a whole bunch of people all trapped inside their homes.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you're trapped inside your home.
It's okay.
Kyle, are you trapped inside your home too?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not trapped in my home. I am out driving a car. Maybe this isn't the best youth ministry video, because maybe filming a video while you're driving your car is not the smartest thing in the world to do.
Right. Maybe what not to do.
Boy, it sure is pretty out here.
Rubbing it in.
Kyle, do you remember the one time when we arrived at the event in Los Angeles and they didn't have a hotel room for us? And so
Yes.
we ended up sleeping on the floor of Judy McDonald's hotel room.
Right.
And do you remember the very first NCYC we ever went to, when we didn't have a hotel room for that one either?
Yeah.
And so we slept on the floor of John Niven and Dan Ballinger's room.
That was because we were cheap.
And you remember the time when we were driving across country and we didn't have a hotel room, and so we slept at the truck stop?
Yeah, that was the thing we did
Actually,
for
we
a while.
slept at a whole bunch of truck stops.
Right. I remember that.
We have a lot of hotel stories, don't we? Remember the hotel that we slept at in Chicago on Cicero Avenue that had rubber sheets?
Yes.
Yikes. I think that one wins for the sketchiest hotel.
Yeah. Agreed.
Remember the hotel in Wisconsin that had giant moose heads on the walls?
No.
I remember that.
Okay.
You know, during this time of COVID-19, I like to think of all the fun places I've been. I've been a lot of fun places. Gotten to stay in a lot of hotels, or not stay in a lot of cool hotels.
Them both.
There's a lot of hotels that I've not been able to stay in. Generally because somebody forgot to book us a room.
Happens.
Those are memories. Well, what do you think all the people need to know? What's the moral of the story? Let's play a game called Where's the Homily?
Where's the homily? Okay.
Where's the homily in not having a hotel room? You know who didn't have a hotel room? Mary and Joseph. They didn't have a
good
hotel
one.
room either. They ended up sleeping with a bunch of sharks. I mean, sleeping with a bunch of farm animals. And that's how Jesus was born.
True. Hey there, I asked Dan to send me something fun, something improv, and I would try to add something to it. I thought he would do something with a guitar, but this didn't have any chords, so I had to figure out the chords, and we'll see how this goes.
If you find yourself quarantined, I hope that you will come along with me so we can be quarantined together. If you find yourself waking up at night and you're not really sure where to turn out the light, just look on the wall. Look on the wall, that's where we put the light switch. You can turn out the light even if you forgot to turn off the light before you went to bed. Yeah, quarantine, you don't have to wear pants. Quarantine, you can dance in your room. Quarantine, you can sing all day long in the shower if you have hot water. If your hot water lasts long enough, you can sound like you're on Broadway, just like me. Quarantine, quarantine, quarantine.
All right, that was Popple.
Such a great way to start the night. And Popple, thank you so much, because you never know what these guys are going to come
I
up
love
with.
that song.
But you got me kind of nostalgic, Popple, because, Dave, remember when we used to travel all the time with our ministry before the COVID? And there's a lot of hotel adventures. Like, remember, Dave, that hotel in Illinois? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we went for a run. It was later in the afternoon, and we came back, and this guy stopped us in the parking lot, and he had seen Dave take his guitar in and out of the hotel, and he had all these questions about your guitar, and he wanted to come to our room, and he wanted to talk about your guitar, and somehow you were so kind, you actually gave him our hotel room number, and we spent the whole night kind of blocking the door, thinking the guy was going to be an ex-murderer and murder us.
Yeah, we thought we were going to die.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
But speaking of fun, Dave, our next artist is fun.
Oh, great.
She's not only a singer, she's actually very funny. And a lot of people don't know that about her, but she cracks me up. She comes from Nashville, Tennessee.
Another Nashville, Tennessean.
Singer, songwriter, plays a variety of instruments. And Dave,
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
This will tie in Popple to our next artist. Both artists, Dan from Popple and our next artist, have borrowed your guitar for an event.
Oh, it must be Sarah Hart. Oh, does she need my guitar tonight?
Actually, not tonight, Dave. She's actually going to play two instruments that you might not have ever seen her play before.
Oh, wow. Well, let's give it up for Sarah Hart.
Hello, everybody. Oh, look at my hair. What is happening? Sarah Hart here. I'm very, very happy to be with you. I hope that this finds you well. safe in your little bunker. Wherever you are, I hope that you're doing well. Sending you my prayers and my thoughts. And it's nice to see you, and to be together, sort of, with you in this really weird time. It's a weird time, right, man? I mean, it's so weird. I'm what you might call a chronic hugger. And so this time for me is really difficult. I'm so thankful that I have my family in my house because they're getting thousands of hugs every day, whether they like it or not. Because I'm so used to like hugging people, even when they don't want me to. I'm just a chronic hugger. It takes all of my strength not to run out on the porch every time Amazon comes by and hug the driver. It just really does. Because there's something so powerful about being with a person and the way that you communicate when you're with someone as opposed to just like through the screen. But I celebrate that right now in this time, this is the best we have. And if we can't be together, and if I can't be hugging you, even though you don't want me to, I can at least be giving you a virtual hug. So that is what I'm doing right now. Saying hello, popping by, promising you that we are together. We're together in spirit, and we're bound together by the love of God, by the Eucharist. And those are powerful things, especially in this time. So I'm so happy that I can see you and that we can be together. So here's a little song for you called Together. Everything is better when you're here with me. Here with me when you're here with me. Everything is better when you're here with me. I'm so happy we can be together. Everything is sweeter when you're by my side. By my side when you're by my side. Everything is sweeter when you're by my side. I'm so happy we can be together. When you go away, the sun goes too, and everything's a little gray. But baby, when you stay, the skies turn blue, and I'm smiling again. 'Cause everything is better when you're here with me. Virtually when you're here with me. Everything is better when you're here with me. I'm so happy we can be together. When you go away, the sun goes too, and everything's a little gray. But baby, when you stay, the skies turn blue, and I'm smiling again. Oh, everything is better when you're here with me. Through my screen when you're here with me. Everything is better when you're here with me. I'm so happy we can be together. I'm so happy we can be together. I'm so happy we can be together. Happy to be together with you. God bless you all.
Sarah Hart, ladies and gentlemen. And who knew she was an amazing and talented kazoo player as well?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to scare you. I'm Estelle.
Oh, hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. I'm looking for who I could talk to about possibly joining a church.
Okay, well, we're actually in the middle of a live stream right now with a bunch of different Catholic artists from across the country.
Oh my gosh, we're on the internet. Hello, everybody on the WWWs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've never been on the internet
Right
before.
on here on the internet. Yep, so I
Wow.
assume you're Catholic?
Oh, goodness, no. But since you brought it up, Dave, I have been thinking about the Catholic Church in particular because I've seen so many live streams of all your services. It's been wonderful to learn about the church, and I'm really thinking about it.
Oh, anything in particular that's drawn you in?
Well, I particularly love, since this started in March, the pandemic, I really like seeing all the purple because I've seen purple everywhere and heard that you Catholics have a whole festival of purple, and it's my favorite color.
Oh,
Are you still in that festival?
You must be thinking of the season right before Easter. It's called Lent.
What's it called?
Lent.
Oh, I don't like lint. No, if I get lint on my dark articles of clothing, then I have to buy lint remover.
Oh, no. Lent with an E. Lent.
Oh, Lent.
Yeah.
Lent. I'm sorry, Dave. I don't hear very well, and some of my friends say that I, Estelle, am a little bit off. Yeah, but I heard God loves us anyway.
Well, that is true.
God loves
So
us
you're really thinking about joining the church?
I am, Dave. It's been fascinating to learn so much, but I do have one little itsy-bitsy problem.
What's that?
Well, I don't know, Dave, if I have enough money to join the Catholic Church.
Well, why don't you think you have enough money?
Well, I heard on the internet you have to join the RCIA.
Well, that's true.
Rich Catholics in America, and I'm not a rich Catholic.
Oh, no. That stands for Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults.
Oh, I have so much to learn, Dave, but I've been doing my part. I've been watching the internet. I've been listening to good Catholic music, I've been learning a lot.
Well, speaking of Catholic music, we're about to send it over to another great Catholic musician. Do you want to help me introduce him?
I gotta be an introducer.
Yeah, we're actually going to send it over to a Catholic artist who just moved to the great state of Texas.
Oh my gosh.
Any guesses as to who it might be?
I've been listening to Go Make a Difference, Steve Angrisano.
Oh, no. Steve was last week.
Is that Graciano?
Steve Angrisano.
Angrisano. I'm still learning how to pronounce. It's not him.
No. Actually, it's a man by the name of Josh Blakesley.
Oh, I just listened to his music yesterday.
Oh, great. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. Is he next?
He's next.
Oh my gosh.
Let's give it up for Josh Blakesley.
Josh Blakesley.
Hey, my name is Josh Blakesley, and I thought that we could just have a reason to sing and dance. This is Be Lifted High. Your voice is over the water. Your voice is over the sea. Your voice is mighty in power and wisdom and love and strength. The heavens thunder your glory. The heavens testify. The heavens shine in the darkness for all the nations of holy light. You will be exalted. You will be lifted high. You will be, I say, forever and ever.
Blakesley.
So good.
Be lifted high.
Such a great song.
Love
Very uplifting.
Yes.
Hey, our next artist, Dave, comes to us from upstate New York.
Okay.
And he's an incredible comedian.
Yes.
He does a lot of ministry work for many, many years.
Okay.
He and his wife have a show on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
The Happy Home Place.
Oh, okay.
Any clue who
Has
that might
he ever borrowed my guitar?
be? No, and I'm not sure actually you would let him.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Must be Chris Padgett.
Chris Padgett, ladies and gentlemen.
I know when you look at me, you think homesteader, lumberjack, manly man. But I want to talk to you about something most men don't talk about, and this is what it is, my double chin. I have to be honest with you, I'm fairly confident that my double chin is trying to basically take over and become the primary chin. To make matters worse, I can't grow facial hair on it, and so there's like a neon glow that comes from underneath my chin. It illuminates my way as I walk, but it is a little bit embarrassing when it comes to, that whole stereotypical masculinity. In addition, I'm follically challenged. This is just a fact. I can't really grow facial hair. I've got one hair that comes out this mole. My wife told me recently that in the Amish community, in order for you to recognize an Amish person who's married, they have to have a beard. And I thought, I don't know what would happen because I'm walking into a place and all I have is one hair sprouting out of this mole, and it could be easily wondered, is he married? Because obviously a lot of people look at me and they think, a catch. Gotta have that in my life. If you've ever wondered, is God real? And this is really important. All you have to do is to take in this realization that I, Chris Padgett, am married. Somebody married this. Like on purpose. Yeah, okay, it's expanded. It has expanded. Yes, like the universe, it's expanded, okay? But somebody literally chose me. Wasn't manipulated, no shotguns involved, didn't coerce, didn't have amnesia, wasn't kidnapped by Russian spies and brainwashed. The thing is, she literally chose me. If that doesn't convince you there's a God, I don't know what can. The thing is that you're saying, Chris, obviously she married you for more than just looks and a great physique. There had to be something more. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's my athleticism. My athleticism is so intense. I just burned calories right there. I don't know if you saw that. So here's the thing about my athleticism. I don't talk about it a lot, but I was so athletic that I used to have to take medication for my feet, athlete's feet. The thing also is, and this is important to note, that my athleticism was so powerful that no team really wanted me to be on it because obviously I would have taken over and become a starter and been awesome. They'd be like, well, there's other people on the team. And I'd be like, there's no I in team. So they're like, okay, you should probably sit out. Be the student manager. That's the safest place for you so we all can have a chance. So anyways, my athleticism. I want to give you 3 simple stories that demonstrate the athleticism that I brought into my marriage and that I bring to you today. Here's the first. Lawn darts. When I was a kid, I had this dream. It was a desire deep down in my core, probably at birth. I must become a ninja. And so I had this innate attraction to sharp objects. I was like a weapon. The sharpness of my precision and athleticism, it brought me to all sorts of ninja movies in which I could practice and prepare. I used to have a little knife and I'd throw it against a tree to try to get it to stick. But when I met the lawn darts, and the lawn darts are now illegal because of small children like me, but lawn darts, when I had this encounter with them for the first time, I knew it was like love at first sight. It was like a precursor to marriage. It was like, I'm meant for you, you're meant for me. Did the lawn dart judge me because of my lack of facial hair? No. Did the lawn dart judge me because of my turkey neck? No. The lawn dart and I, we became mano y mano, or in the case, mano y wamano. So here's the thing. I'm out one day and I have the lawn dart. The thing that's awesome about a lawn dart, no matter how you throw it, it lands on the ground point first. This is true. So you could be, obviously, you could be not like me and be not athletic, and if you threw it, then it goes into the ground point first. It's so awesome. Well, I'm out there, and just this dream of becoming a ninja had finally been realized. And I'm throwing it, every throw, perfect, in the ground, point down, precision, perfection. And then I remember throwing it as hard as I could, and I heard it hit the bone in my foot, and I thought, I just stabbed myself with a lawn dart. Like, what ninja does that? And I realized, maybe I'm not, meant to express my athleticism through lawn darts. So I moved to a different modus operandi, okay? It's a mode of operandi, a mode. So here's the thing. I had these darts, and I practiced all the time, because I knew one day I was going to enter into some sort of a bar, and somebody's like, let's have a duel, we're going to have a dart contest, and whoever gets the bullseye with the dart wins, everything. And so I was preparing, and one day my mom was going to go visit a friend, and I had to go with her. And we got to the house, and there was a younger kid there, and his name was Greg. It still is. And when I said to Greg, I said, let's go in the basement, we're going to play a game called Circus. He'd never played it, because it didn't exist. I made it up right then and there. We're downstairs. I take the dart. I throw it with pinpoint precision. Bam, bam, bam. I said, listen, Greg, I want to do something. You stand against the wall. I'm gonna throw these darts and see if we can do this kind of circus reenactment. Because when I was a kid at the circus, the guy in the tuxedo used to throw knives at the lady wearing a bikini. And so I said, Greg, stand there. I'm gonna throw the darts at you. And Greg said, okay. I was on cloud 9. I thought, finally, a chance for my athleticism to shine. And I take the little darts and I begin to throw them, and boom, boom, perfection. I mean, this is it, my destiny. I mean, now I am a ninja. Lawn dart's too big, but the pinpoint precision of a smaller dart with my athletic arm tossing it, it was awesome. But then something happened that day I was not expecting, and I had never seen in a circus. And that was when Greg looked at me and said, I want to throw at you now. And in that moment, terror, which is rare, but it streaked through my body. And I looked at Greg, and I didn't want to be considered a chicken, so I said, okay, Greg, you can throw at me, but you better not hit me. And as I stood against the wall, it was like time stopped. And the dart left his hand, and it began to speak to me, and it said, you stupid, stupid boy. And then the dart landed on my arm, and I looked at it, and I thought, I just got stabbed by a dart. Like, what ninja does that? So I told you that story to tell you my third story. One day, when I was a kid, my dad took my sister and I to the Black Hills to go on a vacation. And there I was. It was cold out, and we decided, what do we do to stay warm? Let's take a fork, and we're going to put marshmallows on the end, and we'll pretend we have an open fire and do roasted marshmallows over the gas-powered stove. So we lit the stove, the flame and its blue, joyful, warm flicker, warming the small area. I put this marshmallow on the fork, and I put it over the flame, and sure enough, it began to roast. It was such a special moment. There was laughter, there was joy, there was family. And then I ate the marshmallow, but before I ate it, the metal prongs that had been over the flame singed my lips. And at the end of that powerful moment, I had 4 marks on my lip, which was an ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic that said, you stupid, stupid boy. I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is, stay away from sharp objects. Don't worry. If God can bring someone to marry me, then there's hope for all of you. Check out Happy Place Homestead for more awesome videos. I hope this brought a little smile to your face, or to your double chin. God bless.
Thanks, Chris. Chris Padgett.
Doug, what are you doing?
Just checking my double chin. What are you doing, Dave?
Same.
Yeah, Chris always has a way of getting us to check out those body parts that we might not be the most secure with.
Very uplifting.
Yeah, a little jarring, I might say. But our country is so blessed by Chris ministry across the country. But who's up next?
You know what? We're going to go from upstate New York all the way to the West Coast.
Wow, that's 3 time zones.
3 time zones, that's right. We're going to take you to Portland, Oregon. You know what that means?
Is he a singer?
And a songwriter.
It must be Pedro Rubalcava.
Hello, my name is Pedro Rubalcava. My message to you is this. Mi mensaje para ustedes es esto. Que el Espíritu de Dios nos recree, que confiemos que Cristo, el resucitado, nos acompaña. That the Spirit of God recreate us, and that we trust that the risen Christ accompanies us. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Create in me a clean heart. Put a new spirit within me. Cast me not from your presence, Lord. Deprive me not of your Holy Spirit. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Dame, Señor, tu salvación y mantén mi alma pura. Mostraré tu camino al pecador, volverán a ti todos los perdidos. Create in me, crea en mí un corazón puro. Create in me, crea en mí un corazón puro. Spare my life, O God, and save me, and my tongue shall proclaim your justice. Abre mis labios, Señor, cantaré tus alabanzas. Create in me, crea en mí un corazón puro. Create in me, crea en mí un corazón puro. God bless you. Dios los bendiga.
Pedro. So good.
That was great.
What a gift to the church. You know, Dave, it's that time once again.
Oh, it's time for a public service announcement.
Except on our show, we like to call it a public spiritual announcement.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so let's see what we have in store for tonight.
I know. Yeah, you gotta be. Oh, I got a visitor. I gotta go. Okay, bye-bye. Sorry, just had a little phone call. You know, giving a call to someone's a great thing to do. And when they answer the phone, say, I'm glad I caught you at home, because a lot of us are at home right now. Old man Joe here, just wanted to say hello. And remember, if you ever use a rotary dial, you have to lift up the receiver, then you put your finger in, and you have to know the number, and then always remember to hand sanitize. Hand sanitize. Oh, the Lord is our shepherd, we shall not want. Oh, Lord Jesus, guide us, protect us, and heal us. So many things to pray about right now. Don't forget to pray. And just remember, folks, the Lord is our strength. The joy of the Lord is our strength. Keep hoping and quit moping.
Thank you for that important message, Joe.
You know, giving someone a phone call is a very important thing to do. Have you ever used a rotary phone?
No.
Yeah, I figured. Let's get to our next act, shall we?
Yeah.
There are two young men. They originally come from Wyoming.
Okay.
And now one lives in Denver,
Oh,
Colorado.
right up the road?
Yep. And one lives in Brooklyn, New York.
Another New Yorkan.
Yeah, and they like to juggle.
Oh, must be Brad and Jean from Apex Ministries.
Let's give it up for Apex.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a privilege for us to be here this evening serving you, to helping you navigate these trying times in ministry. Before we begin, it's important we introduce ourselves. I'm Gene.
And I'm Brad.
And together,
we are
Gene
and Brad.
And we know that in these new times of ministry that we need to communicate in new and different ways. So to that end, we have created Apex Guide to Digital Ministry. Now, when we communicate, because we are now on a digital platform, we need to be able to communicate with brevity. And one effective way of being able to communicate with brevity is using our old friends, the emoji. And so what we'd like to do is show you effective ways to use emojis in your ministry to communicate with your young people and the parents of your young people.
Obvious what this one is.
And what is this obviously saying?
Obviously, it's scripture. It's the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world.
In addition to being able to communicate scripture and stuff like that, we also have an opportunity to talk about those who have come before us, that this is a great way to talk about St. Francis and the blessing of the animals that we can have at the parish, because we can do that at a distance in a parking lot.
Or it could mean that maybe having the live animals in the sanctuary as part of the living nativity wasn't a good idea. I think I know what this one's saying.
What is this?
This is a phrase everybody knows, that the church is a hospital for the sick, not a castle for the pious.
That is true. That we could be communicating something like that. We can also use this particular phrase to communicate more directly about the things that are going on as we're caring for our loved ones. The chapel in the hospital is closed due to the virus. You are safer at home.
I think I've experienced this one at the parish before.
What's that?
The incense is burning my eyes, so I broke into the first aid kit.
We can also use this to communicate what has gone on the entire evening to the rest of the parish. Youth group went great. The Holy Spirit was moved. Hearts were touched, and we only had to call 911 once.
Yes, another youth ministry standard.
I'm betting this is one that you hear a great deal because you're in charge of confirmation at your parish.
Absolutely. Parents say, I'm sorry, my son was late for every single class, but he had science club, he had baseball, he had soccer practice. We went on vacation, he had drama practice. Can he still graduate? I mean, can he still get confirmed?
Even in these times that we have really busy schedules, these sorts of things come up. But it can also mean it's too late for us. We haven't found a cure. Everything we love is burning.
Clear way to communicate that you need to leave room for the Holy Spirit at a dance.
And in these modern times, with what we're doing as we're reopening parishes, this is also a great way to communicate with the parish. Please sit 3 rows apart during Mass to maintain social distancing.
Again, we can see scripture here. If your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out.
Now, this also can be one that we can use in our daily lives, not just when we're communicating spiritually. Here in New York, things have been a little bit rough. And so when you're trying to communicate in the store, I see you looking at my toilet paper in my cart. If you try and take it, I'm going to shiv you. And yes, in New York, to shiv is a verb. Now, there are going to be times that we need to be conveying something deeper, something more powerful, but we might not be fully prepared to communicate with our youth group. So if you are in a situation and you need to share the way that God has been working in your life, this works for almost every youth minister that has ever lived. It is a very simple, succinct way for you to tell your story. This is the emojis for every testimony that has ever been given at a youth conference or a youth night.
It is familiar, but let's say we apply it to St. Paul. What would that look like?
So if we were going to do a scripture study and we weren't going to be talking from first person, we can make a very simple adjustment. And now we have the life of St. Paul.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The Apex Guide to Digital Ministry. Hopefully you are now equipped to better address your young people in the time of COVID-19.
And if we can leave you with one final thought, if you're struggling and you're not exactly sure how to use an emoji, whatever you do, Don't use a piece of fruit. Have a good night.
Good night.
Apex Ministries.
You know, Dave, they got me thinking about a couple things.
You know, Brad and Gene had me thinking about these emojis and what these emojis really mean.
It's true, and they got me also thinking about youth ministers who dedicate so much of their life to helping our young people and accompanying them. So please keep our youth ministers in your prayers.
You know, Doug, before we send it over to our last, final, amazing, talented artist,
And I see who it is, so you don't want to miss it.
we should give a shout out and a very special thank you to the NFCYM who put on this whole amazing streaming series. We had an event last Thursday. We had an event tonight. So much amazing talent they put together. We laughed. We sang together. We prayed together. It's been awesome.
It's been incredible. And folks, you need to realize that this whole show came from your suggestions for an evening, like you said, a fun, uplifting evening, and the National Federation for Catholic Youth Ministry heard your voice and sponsored this whole event. So we want to thank them so much. And also we want to thank them, especially during this pandemic. They have just risen to the occasion. They're all about accompanying the young church, but not just them, but their pastors, their parents, their families. They do amazing work, Dave. Is there any way people could help them?
There is, Doug. You know, there's a link right down here that you can follow.
I don't see it.
Right down here,
I see
below
it.
my finger. Yeah.
Okay.
Follow this link. Now open it up in a different browser window, and you can make a donation. But before you head over to that window, stay right here, and we're going to send you to the great state of California to conclude our show.
Please give it up for Jesse Manibusan.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she pretty? More than 1 minute. Oh, hey everybody, it's your old friend Jesse. Sorry, I was just learning some new Stevie Wonder songs. Okay, so this is going to be like a comedy, a little bit of song. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't have like comedy, but I got a funny story. You want to hear a funny story? On March 20th, I went to Kaiser Permanente. I was going to pick up my prescriptions, and then I was going to catch a flight the very next morning to Hawaii. I got to the pharmacy. Here comes the funny part. And I see my doctor there. And she goes, "Hey, Jesse, what are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm picking up my prescriptions." She goes, "That's great. That's wonderful. You're not traveling, are you?" And I go, "Yeah, well, I'm going to go to Hawaii for a couple of days." And she looks at me, she goes, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow." And she says, "No, you're not." And I said, "What?" She goes, "No, you're not going to. You got to cancel that flight." So I got home and I thought, wow, that was funny. And I didn't go to Hawaii. I had a first class ticket to Hawaii and I didn't go. I kind of look at that now and I think, that's still not funny. Anyway, boy, but you got to seek the joy. You got to cultivate the joy somehow. You know, especially for me, I'm used to traveling all the time. And boy, I tell you, I am an introvert. And by wiring, I am a very solitary person. But there is a difference between solitude and isolation. And I struggle with that. So I just pray and I find different ways to let go and to serve. Let me give you this little prayer here. It's called the blessing prayer. Just repeat after me during the chorus. Watch. God of love, God of love, God of grace, God of grace. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer. In this place, in this place. We give thanks, we give thanks. We give praise for the blessing of this day. Beautiful. For our parents with loving trust, who share the gift of faith and walk with us. For all the ones who lead and guide with patient hearts and sacrifice. to live and serve through joy and tears, with faithful courage amidst our fears. And in the long, dark loneliness, your tender mercy gives us true peace. Here we go. God of love, God of love, God of grace, God of grace, hear our prayer in this place. We give thanks, we give praise for the blessing of this day. We give thanks, we give praise for the blessings of this day. So cultivate joy, hold on to love. God's mercy and God's love will carry the day. God bless you.
Jesse Manibusan.
What a great way to end the stellar
that
lineup.
was awesome. Although I have to admit, I felt a little bad for Jesse when I heard the story about Hawaii and the canceled trip.
Ooh, and the first class, I felt for you, Jess.
Brutal. You know, in addition to Jesse, we got to thank all the amazing artists we had last Thursday, as well as the amazing roster of talent we had on the show today. It's been a great 2 weeks. We had singers, songwriters, we had comedians, we had storytellers, we had musicians. We laughed together, we prayed together, we sang together. It's been awesome. We want to thank all the amazing artists for sharing their time and talent with us. We want to thank the NFCYM for putting this on.
Absolutely, David. We just have been overwhelmed by the generosity of our artists. So please pray for our artists and support them in any way you can, because they are trying to do their best during these turbulent times to continue to serve the church.
You know, we started the show with a song called Open Wide, the Doors of Christ. Doug, I think it'd be fitting if we close the show with a song called Open Wide, the Doors of Christ.
Absolutely, David. It reminds us that our churches they have not been closed.
That's right. Well, the physical doors may be shut.
Sure, the buildings.
Right, but the spiritual doors always wide open.
In fact, our opportunity as missionaries to serve the church and evangelize and help people grow closer to Christ has never been greater. So let us pray together that we can remember we're all in this together, as we are together as one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Open wide the doors of Christ. Open wide the way, the truth, the life. Open wide the doors to the young and old. Open wide the doors of the Lord. Open wide the doors of the Lord. Open wide the doors of the Lord.
Good night, everybody.
Open wide the doors of Christ. Open wide the way, the truth, the life. Open wide the doors to the young and old. Open wide the doors of the Lord. Open wide the doors of the Lord. Open wide the doors of the Lord.